Yeah, hi there. These comments are for DA. I'm just using your initials for privacy purposes, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you have signed up and you have completed the free TOEFL speaking practice test evaluation. And this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and listen to your response, and I will score your response using the official ETS rubrics used to grade this type of speaking task. And you're answering the question, what do you like better, studying alone or studying with a group? So let's listen to your response.
In my view, I think studying with a group is better. I think that for 2 reasons. First, when you study with a group of people, you can get direct feedback for something you do not understand it well. For example, when I was in the university, I struggled a lot in the chemistry class. So I always ask my friend to explain something that's not clear for me, and that helps me a lot. Secondly, when you study with a group, you can manage your time and concentrate it well. Then when you study by yourself, you can spend most of time by looking on your phone, looking on your Facebook, so you can lose a lot of time. That's why I think that.
We got it. Okay, so now I'm going to listen to it one more time, and I will comment on specific parts of it. My general impression is I'm going to score you below 3 on this, so I don't think you can score 23 points or higher on this practice test. That's my first impression. All right, let's listen to it one more time and let's see what happens.
In my view, I think studying with a group is better. I think that's what...
Now that's a problem. Right in the beginning, it wasn't a very clear recording. I couldn't understand exactly what you're saying.
2 reasons. First, when you study...
And then you have a short sentence, another short sentence, and then you say for 2 reasons. And that type of introduction, it sounds like a template. It sounds like you've memorized it. I think this is better for 2 reasons. We should reduce the air pollution in our city for 2 reasons. It's better to go to a small school for 2 reasons. That type of template you can use in hundreds and hundreds of situations, and it's not very creative, and it's not going to help you on the TOEFL. So you need a little bit better introduction, one that's more specific. Not a template like you use, but try to state what your reasons are. I was just telling somebody else, if you said something like this, you said, well, I like studying with a group because I can learn the course content better and I can get a higher score in my exam. Right? Say that. If you state those 2 reasons in the beginning, then it's easier to now connect the different parts of your response back to those ideas.
Studying with a group of people, you can get direct feedback.
No you. You need to eliminate that, the you, that second person point of view. Don't say you. Don't use a pronoun there, but say if students study with a group, they will be able to, or if I study with a group, I will be able to. So I'm recommending here with your point of view, I recommend the first or the third person point of view for these types of speaking tasks, and also remember this for the independent writing. So don't use that you point of view anywhere on the speaking or the writing task. It's too informal, and you don't need to instruct or directly talk to your audience.
For something you do not understand it well. For example, when I was in the university, I struggled a lot in the chemistry class. So I always ask my friend to explain something that's not clear for me, and that helps.
Now be more specific though. Say for example, when I was at the university taking a biology class, I was having trouble understanding cell division, at least how it was being instructed in the class. So I talked to my friend about cell division, and he was able to explain to me how cell division worked, which helped me to better understand this content in the class I was taking. You see what I'm saying? So you need to be more specific. The more specific you are, the better it's going to be.
Helps me a lot. Secondly, when you study with a group, you can...
Studying with a group, you can. You're studying a group, why not just use studying in a group as a subject without saying you? Just say studying in a group helps students. say it like that, right? That's going to be better. I think more advanced grammar, you're not using you, which is an inappropriate point of view, and you're showing you have better control over your language use.
And manage your time and concentrate as well. Then when you study by yourself,
you can manage your time and concentration there. So time is a noun, concentration is a noun. You want to try to balance both of those, and I think that's going to work better there. So that's a problem with what's called parallelism with your language use.
You can spend most of time by looking for on your phone, looking on your Facebook, so you can lose a lot of time. That's why I think that.
Okay, so now let's take a look at your score and why. I think here, I'm looking at delivery. There were some areas of your response I couldn't completely understand all the words in there, so there was definitely some unclear pronunciation of certain parts of your response. Right? So I think that's something that you definitely can work on, is making sure you're pronouncing things clearly. And one specific area I'd like you to work on is called thought groups and blending. Right? I think if you can improve your thought groups and blending, and I teach about this in my online course, by the way, but if you can improve thought groups and blending, you'll have better pacing, and you'll learn how to adjust your tone when you get the end of each of your thought groups, and then when you get to the final thought group, you'll know what to do with your intonation there. So I think you definitely need to make some improvements with your thought groups and blending. Language use, in my opinion, is the biggest problem right now for you. You have a lot of vocabulary and grammar problems, right? Your vocabulary tends to be very basic, and then with your grammar, you seem to be limited in the grammar structures that you're using, so you need to have better control, I think, over the complex sentence. That means you need to understand more how to use sentences involving dependent clauses, such as noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. Your sentence construction tends to be a little bit simple. So you definitely need to make some improvements with language use. Topic development, you're not very specific in some of those details that you're giving. You need to be even more personal. You maybe tried to bring up too many different ideas, and you weren't able to really illustrate those points with specificity or specific details. And then the introduction, it was more of a template that you were using, and it didn't really connect well to the rest of your response. So you definitely need to make some improvements in terms of how you're organizing and developing your ideas. All right, your score here, I'm putting you in the 2 range. I'm going to put you at about 2.1 out of 4, 17 points out of 30. That's where I would put you on this practice test, right? So I just outlined some problems with delivery, language use, and topic development. So DA, thank you for doing this TOEFL free speaking practice test evaluation. You have no idea who I am, but you did it. You went to my website, you took a chance, you emailed me the speaking file, and I was able to give you feedback, so now you know. You know how my online course works. If you do decide to become one of my students, you can complete speaking practice tests on a day-to-day basis. In fact, you can send me 60 seconds of speaking practice every 24 hours, and I will continue to give you feedback like I'm giving you now. And you can also complete 1 writing practice test every day if you're one of my online students. All right? And thank you. Now, if you know anybody else who might be interested in the free speaking TOEFL practice test evaluation, can you just tell them to go to onlinetoeflcourse.com and they can learn more about it there. All righty? And thank you very much again for completing this practice test, and it was very nice to meet you, to listen to your speaking, and to give you feedback.